What if I told you the workplace is not what you think? It is not about talent. It is not about hard work. It is a battlefield. Every smile hides a calculation. Every meeting is a war of perception. And every silence is louder than words. That is why the clever rise and the sincere remain invisible. That is why the undeserving gets promoted, while the deserving stay stuck. But here's the secret. Chanakya, the master strategist of empires, left behind weapons sharper than any sword. Weapons of silence, of timing, of observation, of cunning. If you do not learn them, you will be used. If you master them, you will be unstoppable. So, do you want to keep surviving? Or do you want to start outsmarting? The workplace. It looks ordinary. A desk. A computer. A meeting room with polite smiles and PowerPoint slides. But beneath it all lies a battlefield. Not of swords. Not of shields. But of words, glances, silence, and strategy. You think people are competing with ideas. No, they are competing with perception. Who looks stronger? Who looks smarter? Who looks indispensable? Most people walk into this battlefield blind. They believe hard work alone will save them. They think honesty will protect them. They imagine fairness exists in systems built by humans who are anything but fair. And then, reality strikes. The promotion goes to someone else. Not the one who worked hardest, but the one who knew how to be seen. The recognition goes to the loudest, not the wisest. The project credit is stolen by the cunning, while the sincere are left invisible. Have you felt it? That sinking feeling when your ideas are praised only after someone else repeats them louder. That quiet frustration when you do the work, but someone else takes the spotlight. That disbelief when the undeserving rise, while the capable remain ignored. This is not incompetence. This is strategy. A strategy you are not playing. Chanakya, the ancient master of statecraft, warned us. The world does not reward goodness alone. It rewards intelligence. Sharpness. The ability to see through masks. And if you think the workplace is free of politics, you are already losing. Every meeting is a negotiation. Every silence is a calculation. Every email is a chess move. Yet most people play checkers in a chessboard world. They reveal their feelings openly. They react too quickly. They trust too easily. They give away power without realizing it. Ask yourself, when was the last time you spoke the truth in a meeting, only to see people look away in silence? When was the last time your kindness was mistaken for weakness? When was the last time you saw someone less competent than you walk ahead because they knew how to bend the system? It hurts. But it should awaken you. Because Chanakya knew, a battlefield is not won by strength alone. It is won by knowing when to attack, when to retreat, and when to let the enemy destroy themselves. The workplace is no different. Every colleague is not your friend. Every smile is not sincere. Every helping hand is not without hidden interest. The biggest mistake. Believing people mean what they say. Believing they want what's best for you. Believing loyalty exists in a place where survival is the ultimate rule. Let me give you real examples. In one office, a quiet engineer built a system that saved the company millions. But he never spoke about it. He thought results would speak for themselves. They didn't. A manager took the credit. The engineer left, bitter, invisible. In another case, a woman worked late nights, weekends, proving her dedication. But she never built allies. She thought sacrifice was enough. It wasn't. When promotions came, she was overlooked. Her boss said she was reliable, but not leadership material. Meanwhile, the one who networked, flattered, and positioned themselves rose quickly. Not because they were better, but because they were strategic. Do you see the pattern? Effort without cunning is slavery. Loyalty without awareness is self-destruction. Hard work without visibility is invisibility. Chanakya called it the difference between a lion and a deer. The deer runs all day, works hard to survive. But it is the lion who hunts smartly, resting until the right moment. Who is feared? Who is respected? Not the busy deer, but the strategic lion. In your workplace, you must ask, am I the deer or the lion? Every office has predators. The colleague who smiles but secretly competes. The boss who tests loyalty but values usefulness more than sincerity. The peer who plays dumb but is always watching. And if you are not aware of them, you are their prey. This is the battlefield. You can deny it. You can ignore it. You can say you don't care for politics. But politics cares for you. Because while you close your eyes, others are moving their pieces. While you stay silent, others are shaping the story. While you remain humble, others are writing the narrative of power. So what is the problem? It is not that you are not intelligent. It is that you are not cunningly intelligent. You are playing the visible game, not the invisible one. Chanakya taught rulers how to win empires without fighting wars. Should you not at least learn how to win your career without being sacrificed? You must wake up to the truth. The workplace is not about who deserves it. It is about who positions themselves as if they deserve it. Not about who works hardest, but about who works the smartest. Not about fairness, but about influence. That is why you feel stuck. That is why others move ahead. That is why you keep giving more, but receiving less. Because you are fighting with sincerity. They are fighting with strategy. And strategy will always win. The battlefield is real. The question is simple. Will you walk in unarmed? Or will you carry Chanakya's wisdom as your hidden blade? Most people see the workplace as it appears. The friendly greetings. The company slogans about teamwork. The carefully rehearsed smiles in meetings. But Chanakya warns us. Appearances are traps. The real game is always hidden beneath the surface. A colleague praises you but secretly feels threatened. A manager says, good work, but files your effort under their own achievement. A teammate nods at your idea, only to repeat it later as if it was theirs. If you look with ordinary eyes, you will be fooled. But if you look with Chanakya's lens, you will see the truth behind the mask. Chanakya said, before you trust a person, test their intentions. Before you show your heart, measure their character. And before you make a move, know what the other truly wants. This is not paranoia. It is clarity. It is seeing the battlefield as it is, not as you wish it to be. So, how do you see without illusions? First, by watching actions, not words. Words are sugar. Actions are truth. Anyone can say they support you. But who actually shows up when it matters? Who helps when no one is watching? Who defends your name in a room where you are absent? That is where true loyalty is revealed. Second, by studying patterns, not moments. A person can pretend once, but patterns never lie. Notice how they behave under pressure. Notice who they compliment and who they ignore. Notice what they do after meetings. Do they credit others, or only themselves? Chanakya knew character is repetition. A mask may fool you once, but the pattern always betrays the truth. Third, by reading silence. Yes, silence. Silence is not empty. Silence screams louder than words. When your idea is presented, and someone avoids eye contact, they are calculating. When you are praised, and a colleague remains quiet, they are jealous. When a group laughs, but one person forces a smile, they are threatened. Most people ignore silence. Chanakya teaches us to make silence our teacher. Let me give you an example. In one corporate boardroom, a young analyst shared a brilliant strategy. Everyone applauded except one senior manager, who sat still, silent, cold. Most thought nothing of it. But within weeks, that manager quietly positioned his own team to block the analyst's plan. Why? Because silence had already revealed his insecurity. Only those who looked with Chanakya's lens could have seen it. Now think about your own life. How many times have you ignored silence? How many times have you trusted words that later betrayed you? How many times did you give someone the benefit of the doubt, only to realize they had been plotting from the beginning? The illusions are endless. The colleague who pretends to be your friend, but uses you as a stepping stone. The boss who speaks of family, but discards people like broken tools. The company that promises growth, while draining every drop of your energy. Chanakya teaches, illusions enslave you. Clarity frees you. He said, the one who sees the truth of people controls them. The one who sees only words is controlled. So, how do you practice Chanakya's clarity in daily life? Imagine you're in a meeting. Someone interrupts you. Do you react with anger? No, you pause. You ask yourself, what does this reveal? Are they insecure about your idea? Are they trying to assert dominance? Are they testing whether you will defend your ground? Once you see their motive, you have already won. Another example. Your boss praises another colleague publicly while ignoring you. Do you feel hurt? Chanakya would say. No. Feel curious. Why now? Why this person? Is the boss signaling loyalty to them? Is it a test for you? Or is it bait to make you compete? Every move has a motive. Your job is not to react. Your job is to read. This is what separates the ordinary from the cunning. Ordinary people respond to what they see. The cunning respond to what is hidden. Chanakya called this the eye behind the eye. To look beyond the obvious. To see intentions behind actions. To hear truths inside silences. But let us be honest. This is not easy. Because illusions are comfortable. It is easier to believe colleagues are friends. It is easier to think managers are fair. It is easier to trust that systems reward merit. But comfort is a drug. And drugs weaken you. If you want power, you must detox from illusions. You must stare at reality until it burns. Until you can no longer pretend. So here is the revelation. The workplace is not a family. It is a marketplace. Every smile is a transaction. Every friendship has a price. Every alliance is temporary. This sounds harsh, but harsh truths protect. Soft illusions destroy. Chanakya survived empires, betrayals, assassinations, and wars. Why? Because he never trusted the mask. He trusted only the pattern. He believed only in what repeated. He relied only on the clarity of observation. You must do the same. Stop being deceived by words. Stop giving loyalty without tests. Stop assuming good intentions. Start watching. Start listening. Start questioning. Who benefits from this decision? Who loses? Who smiles too much? Who remains too quiet? Who always agrees, but never contributes? These are not small details. They are signals. Signals of power. Signals of danger. Signals of the hidden game. And the one who sees the signals owns the game. This is Chanakya's lens. This is how you walk into a room and see what others miss. This is how you stop being a pawn and start becoming the strategist. And until you wear this lens, you will remain trapped in illusions. Blind. Predictable. Exploitable. But once you wear it, no mask can deceive you. No flattery can seduce you. No silence can escape your attention. You will see the world as it is. And the one who sees the world as it is always comes out smarter than the rest. Power is not always loud. It does not always shout. It does not always bang the table or raise its voice. True power moves quietly. It hides in shadows. It whispers where others scream. Chanakya understood this deeply. He knew that the strongest weapons are often the ones no one sees. Not fists. Not swords, not threats. But silence. Observation. Timing. Boundaries. These are the weapons that make you cunningly smart. These are the weapons that let you rise when others fall. Let us start with silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a shield. Silence is a mirror. Silence forces the other to reveal themselves. In a meeting, when someone tries to provoke you, stay silent. Do not rush. Do not defend. Just look. Hold your silence like a blade in its sheath. They will grow nervous. They will stumble. They will speak more than they should. Chanakya once said, "Even if you are a fool, keep silent, and you will be taken for a wise man." Think about it. The person who speaks less always seems more intelligent. Why? Because silence creates mystery, and mystery creates power. Now, observation. Most people look. Few people observe. Observation is not just seeing, it is decoding. At work, observe how people sit in meetings. Who leans forward aggressively? Who leans back, pretending to be casual? Who nods constantly to appear agreeable? Who avoids eye contact when the topic grows uncomfortable? Every gesture is a clue. Every micro-expression is a confession. Every posture is a message. Chanakya taught kings to read their ministers this way. He could see loyalty and betrayal in a single twitch of the eye. You too must learn this art. Because once you can observe, you control. Then comes timing. Timing is everything. Say the right thing too early, it is ignored. Say the right thing too late, it is irrelevant. Say it at the perfect time, it changes the entire room. In the workplace, timing can win wars without battles. Do not argue when emotions are hot. Wait. Let the storm pass. Speak when silence has settled, and your words will land like thunder. Do not reveal your idea immediately. Wait until others have exhausted themselves. Then place your idea calmly, decisively. It will sound like the only solution. Chanakya used timing to topple empires. You can use timing to win promotions, negotiations, and influence. And then, boundaries. Boundaries are shields. Without them, you are open to every attack. With them, you are untouchable. Most people in the workplace give away too much. Too much information. Too much emotion. Too much availability. You must learn to guard yourself. If a colleague asks too many personal questions, smile, but reveal nothing. If a boss piles endless tasks, politely decline what does not serve your priorities. If someone tries to pull you into gossip, step back, stay neutral, protect your image. Boundaries are not walls. They are filters. They let the right things in and keep the wrong things out. Now, let me give you real examples. A man once ruined his career in a single meeting. His boss criticized him unfairly. Instead of staying calm, he erupted. He defended himself with anger. He spoke too much. He revealed his insecurity. His boss simply smiled and noted he was not leadership material. Another woman played it differently. In a similar situation, when criticized, she stayed silent. She nodded. She waited. Later, in private, she addressed the matter calmly with evidence. Her silence in the meeting made her look composed. Her timing in private made her look intelligent. That silence was her weapon. Another case, two colleagues were competing for the same promotion. One kept boasting about his achievements, flooding his boss with emails. The other stayed quiet, but observed his boss carefully. She noticed her boss admired people who solved problems without fuss. So she built small wins, dropped them casually at the right time, never Guess who got promoted? The one who used observation and timing, not noise. You see, these weapons are subtle. But subtlety is power. Noise is cheap. Silence is expensive. Anyone can talk. Few can restrain. Anyone can react. Few can wait. Anyone can complain. Few can build boundaries. And it is the few who rise. Chanakya was never the strongest man in his time. But he was the most dangerous. Because he fought with invisible weapons. Weapons no one could defend against. At your workplace, you too must carry these weapons. When someone insults you, remember silence. When you walk into a meeting, remember observation. When you want to speak, remember timing. When people pull you in too close, remember boundaries. These four are the pillars of cunning intelligence. But there is one more weapon that combines them all. Patience. Patience is the bow that launches all arrows. Without patience, silence collapses into weakness. Observation collapses into overthinking. Timing collapses into hesitation. Boundaries collapse into arrogance. But with patience, everything sharpens. With patience, you let others burn themselves out. With patience, you let enemies reveal their intentions. With patience, you wait for the perfect strike. The world belongs to those who can wait without losing focus. This is what Chanakya taught his disciples. And this is what you must teach yourself. Because in the end, power is not about force. It is about control. Control of self. Control of reactions. Control of emotions. And when you have that control, no one can touch you. That is the transformation. From reactive to strategic. From emotional to calculating. From visible to invisible. This is how you stop playing like everyone else. This is how you start winning, like Chanakya. The silent weapons are yours. The question is, will you pick them up? Philosophy is useless if it stays on paper. Wisdom must walk into the office with you. It must sit with you in the meeting. It must move with you in the hallway. It must guide your words, your silence, your very presence. Chanakya's brilliance was not just in theory. It was in action. He turned cunning into a way of life. You must do the same. Let us see how 1. The meeting battlefield. Meetings are not about information. They are about positioning. Who speaks with confidence? Who controls the flow? Who ends with the last word? Most people walk in with notes. The cunning walk in with strategy. Chanakya would say, never reveal your idea first. Why? Because the first idea is always attacked. Let others speak. Let them drain their energy. Let them show their cards. Then, when the time is right, enter calmly. Summarize what has been said. Connect it. Then add your idea as if it were the natural conclusion. Now the room feels like your idea solved everything. Real example. A young manager once rushed to pitch his new plan at the start of a meeting. People poked holes in it. By the end, his idea was dead. Another manager stayed silent for most of the discussion. Near the end, he spoke just one sentence, tying everyone's points together, then adding his insight. He looked like the wisest voice in the room. Same idea. Different timing. Different outcome. Silence, patience, timing. This is how meetings are won. 2. The promotion game. Promotions are not rewards for effort. They are rewards for perception. And perception can be shaped. Chanakya would say, never show all your labor. Why? Because the moment you look desperate, you lose respect. Instead, show results in a way that makes them undeniable. Don't brag daily, but plant seeds weekly. Drop insights in casual conversations. Send concise updates that highlight impact without begging for approval. Example. 2 employees wanted the same promotion. One worked late, sent long emails every night, and reminded everyone how hard she was working. She looked desperate. The other delivered key results, but only shared highlights at the right moments. She looked composed, in control. Guess who was seen as leadership material? Perception is the battlefield of promotions. Stop showing sweat. Start showing outcomes. 3. Negotiations and raises. Negotiation is not about asking. It is about anchoring. And anchoring is about silence. Chanakya said, the one who speaks less in a negotiation always wins more. When you ask for a raise, don't beg. Don't explain endlessly. State your case clearly. Then stay silent. Silence forces the other side to fill the space. And in filling it, they reveal their limits. Example. An employee asked for a raise. He kept talking. He explained bills, family needs, stress. By the end, he sounded weak. He got the bare minimum. Another employee asked calmly, then stayed silent. The manager grew uncomfortable. He started justifying why the company could offer more. That employee walked away with double the raise. The difference, silence as a weapon. 4. Handling rivals. Every workplace has rivals. Some open. Some hidden. Chanakya teaches, never fight rivals directly. Make them expose themselves. Make them destroy their own image. If a rival attacks your idea, do not fight back immediately. Instead, ask them polite questions. Force them to explain their logic. The more they talk, the more flaws they reveal. And you never had to raise your voice. Example. In one company, 2 managers competed for influence. One constantly attacked the other in meetings. The other never defended directly. Instead, he asked, "That's an interesting point. Could you elaborate?" The rival kept talking until he looked foolish. Eventually, the room began ignoring him. This is Chanakya's brilliance. He knew that the clever man lets the enemy dig his own grave. 5. Building allies. Power is never built alone. Even Chanakya had allies. But he chose them with precision. In the workplace, do not waste energy trying to be liked by everyone. Focus on the few who truly influence decisions. Build silent loyalty with them. How? Not through flattery. Through usefulness. Help them in ways that matter to their goals. Do it quietly. Do it consistently. Do it without asking for immediate return. Soon, when your name comes up, they will defend you. Not out of emotion, but out of respect. Example. A young employee helped a senior leader streamline reports. No show, no noise. Just quiet help. Months later, when layoffs came, that leader personally fought to keep her. Why? Because usefulness builds bonds stronger than charm. 6. Surviving toxic bosses. Some bosses manipulate. Some bosses exploit. Chanakya faced kings far worse. And he survived. His advice: do not confront power directly. Outlast it. Outsmart it. If a boss is toxic, do not react emotionally. Study them. Learn what they want. Predict their moves. Then adjust. Give just enough to keep peace. But always prepare your exit strategy. Remember, Chanakya taught, never tie your future to a single master. Always have alternatives. Always keep your independence intact. 7. The art of disguise. Chanakya often disguised his true intentions. At times he acted weak, only to strike stronger. At times he acted loyal, only to betray at the right moment. You too must learn disguise. Do not reveal your ambition openly. Let people underestimate you. Let them think you are harmless. Because the underestimated are never attacked. And when the time comes, you rise. Example. An employee never fought for the spotlight. He acted humble, quiet, almost invisible. His rivals ignored him. Then, when leadership suddenly needed a problem solved, he presented the solution. He rose while others were still plotting. That is the power of disguise. 8. Knowing when to exit. Sometimes the smartest move is not to win. It is to walk away. Chanakya said, "Abandon the unworthy battlefield. Do not waste arrows on dead trees. If your workplace is poisoned, if growth is blocked, if politics is suffocating, leave. Do not stay trapped in illusions of loyalty. A wise person knows when to fight and when to walk. Your career is your kingdom. Protect it. Do not sacrifice it for masters who never cared." So here is the truth. Cunning is not evil. It is survival. It is intelligence sharpened by reality. It is the art of living in a world that does not reward innocence. Chanakya was not worshipped because he was nice. He was worshipped because he was effective. Because he turned ordinary men into kings. Because he taught them to win wars without blood. You can do the same in your career. Your battlefield is different. But the rules are the same. Observe. Stay silent. Time your moves. Hold your boundaries. Choose allies carefully. Disguise your intentions. And when necessary, walk away with dignity. This is not just philosophy. This is action. This is the difference between being used and being remembered. Most people enter the workplace as survivors. They endure. They obey. They keep their heads down. They hope effort will be rewarded. But survival is not power. Survival is slavery. Chanakya did not survive empires. He outsmarted them. He shifted from survivor to strategist. And you must too. Because the workplace is not just a job. It is a battlefield of minds. And only the strategist thrives. The survivor believes in rules. The survivor trusts in fairness. The survivor does what they are told. The survivor works harder than everyone else. And yet, The survivor is forgotten. They stay in the same role. They watch promotions pass by. They watch recognition stolen. They burn out in silence. Have you seen them? The colleague who has been loyal for 10 years, but is still in the same seat. The one who carries the weight of everyone's work, but is never seen as a leader. The one who is told, "You are reliable, but not ready for more." That is the fate of the survivor. Now, look at the strategist. The strategist works hard, but never blindly. The strategist plays the invisible game. The strategist uses silence, observation, timing, and boundaries. The strategist knows when to speak and when to remain quiet, when to build allies and when to walk alone, when to fight openly and when to strike from the shadows. The strategist does not wait for recognition. They shape recognition. They create narratives. They position themselves as the answer before the question is even asked. The strategist does not seek pity. They create power. That is the difference. And that difference changes everything. Chanakya transformed Chandragupta from a boy with nothing into an emperor of India. How? Not with brute force. Not with blind luck. But with cunning strategy. You too can transform. From an ordinary employee into an extraordinary force. From a face in the crowd into a voice that cannot be ignored. From someone who is used into someone who is indispensable. But first, you must kill the illusions. Stop thinking your boss will save you. Stop believing effort alone is enough. Stop waiting for fairness. And then, you must sharpen the weapons. Silence as your shield. Observation as your map. Timing as your sword. Boundaries as your armor. Patience as your bow. With these, you stop reacting. You start directing. You stop playing the worker. You start playing the strategist. Let us make it concrete. The survivor complains about meetings. The strategist sees meetings as theaters of power. The survivor reacts to criticism. The strategist reads the intention behind it and responds with precision. The survivor begs for promotion. The strategist positions themselves so the promotion looks inevitable. The survivor avoids rivals or fights them head-on. The strategist lets rivals expose themselves and collapse. The survivor is exhausted. The strategist is composed. Do you see it now? It is not about working more. It is about working differently. It is about playing the game you did not know existed. Chanakya taught, there is no weapon sharper than intelligence. No fortress stronger than secrecy. No ally greater than patience. This is not just philosophy. This is survival upgraded into mastery. So ask yourself now, will you remain a survivor? Or will you rise as a strategist? Will you keep waiting for someone to notice you? Or will you make yourself impossible to ignore? Will you keep giving power away? Or will you carry it like a hidden blade? Because the truth is simple. The world does not remember survivors. The world remembers strategists. Survivors live in the shadows. Strategists shape empires. You do not need to be cruel. You do not need to betray. You do not need to destroy. But you must be cunning. You must be aware. You must be precise. Stop being the deer. Become the lion. Stop being the pawn. Become the player. Stop being the follower. Become the strategist. That is the call. That is the transformation. That is the path Chanakya himself walked. And now, it is yours. You walked into this video thinking work was about effort. But now you know the truth. It is not effort that wins. It is strategy. The workplace is not a family. It is a battlefield. And the ones who survive are not the strongest, but the most cunning. You have two choices. Keep being the pawn, or become the strategist. Because silence can be your shield. Boundaries can be your armor. Observation can be your map. And timing can be your sword. Chanakya turned ordinary men into kings with these very weapons. Now they are in your hands. The question is not whether the game exists. The question is whether you are ready to play it. And once you play it, nothing in your workplace and nothing in your life will ever look the same again.